Hey everybody, it's Dave Dugdale, learningvideo.com. I'm going to do kind of a rambling review of a lot of different charts, which I'm going to talk about. I've got two cameras running. It's kind of for my own personal consumption. I'm just going to label them A and B as I switch back and forth. I'm just going to switch back and forth periodically. It's mostly for me and maybe one other person I'm going to share it with. But this is my second YouTube channel. And again, I'm going to probably just ramble on about these different charts. So this is the DSC One Shot, developed by Art Adams a few years back. It's been a fantastic tool for me, especially in mixed lighting situations. 6 patches, you got your skin tones, you got white, gray, black, and you've got, white and gray back here. Then this one is the Exright version, which I'm pretty sure they just copied Art Adams' design because it's a good one. These 6 colors fit in your graticals on your vector scope quite well, and it really helps with color, especially in the Sony cameras. So these are very similar to these. These are done at exactly half saturation. So on DaVinci Resolve, you can put it to 2x on the vector scope, and you can line those up quite easily. These, however, I haven't found those to be exactly the same as these. But they have skin tones, and what's great about this one is you've got a whole bunch of series of colors from white all the way to black, which what this one doesn't have. And so when you're matching cameras and you're creating a curve, contrast curve, this has been an excellent tool. Which is kind of what I've been working on trying to create a course on matching Canon cameras to Sony cameras. And this has become a very valuable tool for me. Anyway, I digress. So here's another one. This is, you might own, this is the Xray Color Checker Passport. This one I've had for a few years. This one doesn't have any colors that line up with the vector scope, but it's meant for raw files that you have off your camera, like your Sony a7R II. You shoot a picture of it, you go in, Lightroom, boom, creates a profile, and fixes your colors for you quite quickly, which is nice if you're doing like a fashion shoot or something like that. This one, I've really enjoyed using it. The big difference between these two, they're kind of similar in price. This is the SMPTE version. You can buy off the SMPTE site. You can't actually buy this one off the B&H site, unfortunately. The thing I don't like about this one is it doesn't have a protective case, which kind of stinks. And what's happened to this one over the last 2 years, and pretty much they say it gets to about 18 months to 2 years, you have to replace it. And what's happened is, I just measured these the other day. I don't know which one's correct, but I'm going to guess that this one has faded over time. Some UV light, I've left it outside a lot. But the gray patch, compared to this gray patch is 200 degrees cooler than this one. My guess is this is faded or maybe turned to slightly brown. And this one is acting cooler than this one. The white patches actually match, which is kind of curious. I thought the white patches would actually degrade faster. But this one is 200 degrees cooler, or you could say this is 200 degrees incorrect or warmer. Love the protective case. Again, you might be thinking, 80 or 90, or I think it's around $90 for this. I'll put the link below if you want to help support my site. Fantastic device. It pays for itself quite quickly if you use it in mixed lighting situations. You bring it in. Instead of sending 20 minutes color correcting a shot, you're done in 2. And you multiply that over time quite quickly, especially on interview shots, you'll save your money back quite quickly. Especially in mixed lighting situations. So here we've got for white balancing, and this is for focus, which I haven't used yet. So there's another chart that I've got in, and I'm actually working with Oleg over at 3D LUT Creator. I'm working on, this one's called the Xray SG. I just wanted to bring it up to show it to you. It's really hard to get this so you don't get any reflection issues, since this chart is so big. But I'm working on creating some LUTs and profiles for my Sony cameras to match the Canon cameras. And Oleg and I guess he's doing all the work, and I'm helping him try to figure out the best way to create LUTs for that. It's still a work in progress. Now I'll tell you, you might be saying Resolve and SpeedGrade and some of the other programs like probably Color Finesse or whatever it's called in Final Cut. I'm guessing they all have basically ways to go in and create LUTs or profiles off of these charts. This one's in Resolve, and so is this one actually. I haven't found Resolve to work well. It creates, especially on the red chip, especially on these red chips, for some reason Resolve does not work well for the red, which is where your skin is. And the last thing I want to talk about is when I first started doing this, 6-7 years ago, I had these really large, I still have it, a large fold up type of white, gray, black kind of chart, I guess you could call it, digital target. And I thought I had to fill the frame. Well, you don't really need to. So if you're worried about the size of these things, don't worry about it too much. In fact, you can get enough color information from like the distance that I'm at right now, which might be a typical interview, with these little tiny splotches or patches or whatever you want to call them. As long as you get the reflection issues taken care of, you can get inaccurate results if you don't align this correctly. What I usually do is I put it below the chin and kind of move it to a position like this to get the correct results. So that's pretty much it for my ramble. Again, I'm just going back and forth on these two different cameras. Really don't want to talk about it too much. It's more of just a test for myself. I need to play with it and do some more things. It's not like a definitive test if you're trying to guess what it is. So that's pretty much it for these charts. I'll put a links to all the ones below. I'll put a link to this SG chart as well that I'm working with Oleg. And that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.